everybody. Today we're going to be doing something different. We're going to be doing a film review, and the movie is called Mississippi Damned. Yeah, Mississippi Damned. And it was released in 2009, and the actor is Tina Marbury, right?
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, so the movie was loosely based off her life. Apparently.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read up on it, yeah. So the movie, the premise of the movie is based around a family who lives in rural Mississippi, and they're a very poor family, and they're African American. So basically the movie is just like a shitstorm or like a cycle of like all their issues and drama. Like there's so much drama that happens, it's like back to back to back. So it's kind of hard to catch your breath. But it's a pretty good film. I mean, yeah, so we're going to go through each of the characters as quick as possible because there's a lot that happens to them. So the movie is like two parts. One that takes place in 1960.
86.
Yeah, 1986. And then the other is
98.
yeah, 1998. Okay, so in 86, the main characters are like kids. One is Leah. Lee. Lee, why did I say Leah?
I don't know.
It's Lee. And want to say some stuff about her?
So, she's a lesbian, and that's about it. No, okay. She has this infatuation with this girl in school that she's in school with, and they make plans to run off together to Memphis, and the girl ditches her and goes out with this guy instead.
Yeah. And then her family is upset about that and kick her out, and then she comes back. And then Sammy, he's like high school year, like 16, 15, something like that. And he's a really talented basketball player, but he's pretty poor, so he has to basically prostitute himself to this older man to get money to go on his high school basketball trips and stuff like that. And he's had a rough life. He was poor, like I just said, but his mother's boyfriend was like abusing him, like beating him up and stuff. And yeah, and then Kari, she is kind of like the main character of the story. She also comes from
She poor.
yeah, and she's Lee's sister. And
She kind of ends up idolizing Sammy in a way, and then by the end of that portion of the movie, he ends up molesting her.
yeah, which was rough. Oh, that was bad. Okay, so then Charlie, she's Sammy's mother. She's an alcoholic, and she was in an abusive relationship with a man who constantly kept cheating on her. And in the first half of the movie, she finds them in her house and basically stabs the woman to death. And like the whole family is there and witnesses it happening, and she gets locked up for like 10 years or so, and she's basically gone. So Sammy has to move in with Kari, Leah, and their parents, which is rough because then Sammy is like abusing Kari and he's living with them. And then Anna is like, well, she is an aunt. She's an aunt to all these three main characters.
Charlie's sister.
Yeah, Charlie's sister. And in the beginning she is pregnant and she has a miscarriage, mainly because she's in an abusive
Relationship.
Abusive relationship with this man, and he beats her, and it's like a really stressful situation. Yeah. I can't talk.
Yes, you can. Situation. And it's kind of not the first time that it's happened.
Yeah, she's had like multiple miscarriages and stuff.
And you left out one sister,
No, I didn't.
Dolores.
Oh, well, I wasn't gonna say anything about her.
She exists, though.
Yeah, well, Dolores and is married to James
Junior.
and
He gambles away their money.
yeah, that's why they're poor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's important to them too, because they each have like every woman in the movie is like tied to this man that's like either abusive or like not exactly healthy in terms of a relationship.
Yeah, totally. And then, so the second half of the movie is 1998, and basically Lee is like a full-blown stalker to the same girl that she was in love with in high school. She basically like loses her house, so she's homeless, she's living in her car, and she's basically sleeping and parked in front of the woman's house. And the woman is like already moved on and like married and has kids, and like Lee is just like stuck on this one person. It's crazy. So Sammy, he's grown up now. He was in the NBA, and then for some reason it's not really said.
He got injured.
Oh yeah, he gets injured, and basically all their money is gone. And he's also married and has a kid. So they're forced to move back in. Well, they're forced to move back to the small town and stay with Sammy's father. Yeah, and Sammy was like really headstrong, and he doesn't want to get a job because he's known as like this famous NBA player, and he like goes to like a hardware store and to give his job application, and then he feels bad and doesn't do it because the cashier like notices him, and he doesn't want to be perceived as less than and all this other stuff. Do you want to say anything about it?
No, that was pretty apt.
And then so he has some conflict with his wife because he's not really stepping up to the plate, and she's forced to like support their family. And so he also rapes or molests or what have you, like the babysitter of the kid, the boy, his son. So yeah, and ultimately like he kills himself basically because he feels bad about himself, which he should. Do you want to say anything about it?
No.
I feel like I'm talking too much and I don't like talking. Okay, and then Carrie, she's a pianist, and she's really good, and she's trying to move out of their small town, and basically every time she tries to save up money, somebody in her family needs money for something, so she's basically taking their priorities over her, and she's not really doing what she wants.
The first time that she stayed home before going off to college was because her mother got cancer, and she stayed to take care of her. So that kind of slowed down her process of getting out too.
Yeah. So then, Charlie, she's out of prison, and she basically falls down the same path that she was on before she left. She's drinking again, hanging out with the wrong crowd, and Anna, basically her life is pretty sad. She's never been able to have a kid, and her husband was still abusive to her, and basically she gets laid off her job, and her mother kicks out her husband, which was a good thing. But yeah, she's kind of in a slump. She doesn't have anything to live for basically. So she commits suicide too.
She was only really the only character that was supportive of Carrie without really any ulterior motives, and was encouraging her to leave so that she wouldn't be stuck in the same cycle as all of them. So when she commits suicide, she leaves the pension money that she got from being laid off to Carrie for going to college.
Yeah. So I mean, that's basically it. There's a lot of other subplots and side stories, but those are the main ones. It was kind of a downer movie, but it was pretty good. And if anybody wants to watch it, it's on Netflix. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.